Hello children. This special edition of the video is meant for those who are preparing for class 10 board examination in CBSE. I'm going to share with you some vital instructions which will help you to perform well in your social studies as a subject. Always remember your textbook is your Bhagavad Gita, Quran and Bible. Textbook is ultimate. You can rely on external resources like guides, but textbook is ultimate. On the day of examination, we get up early in the morning because we have been preparing so hard. We get the blessings of elders, right? We invoke God's blessings. But when we go and write an examination paper, sometimes we end up in committing miserable mistakes because of which we end up in provoking the teacher who is going to correct your examination paper. So let's not do that. Let's learn how to present the answer in a meaningful way. I'm going to upload a series of videos. To begin with, this video will tell you some insights on how to prepare well and present well. The first aspect which I would like to take up is the number of points required in any question. If the question says clearly come up with 5 points, don't write more than 5. In case if you wish to add a point, you can add it but don't number it. Always use numerals for numbering, not Roman letters and bullets. To remember points, you can use shortcuts like acronyms. For example, for the question impact of French Revolution, you can use UFC as an acronym. Okay? U stands for uniformity in weights and measures. F stands for French was made the common language across the country, and uniformity in currency. So C stands for currency and custom duties were abolished. Like KFC, you remember UFC. There are some guides and question papers where you find some questions which are not so relevant from examination point of view. If a publisher has to set 30 questions, then he or she has to repeat every single thing in the textbook. That is why sometimes you come across some strange questions like, what was the unit of measurement used in Germany to measure a cloth? The answer is L. Or in the textbook, it is given that from Nuremberg to Hamburg, a merchant had to pay taxes through 11 custom barriers. These are certain examples given in the book to make you understand the concept. Therefore, you don't have to take these examples so seriously, right? Okay. The next aspect which I would like to insist is running short of ideas. Most of the time, students make the mistake of combining 2 points into one. For example, bad harvest was the cause and the result was food shortage. Now you may have a doubt. Should I present it as 2 points or 1 point? You can present it as 2 points. Similarly, during the non-cooperation movement, you will come to know that foreign goods were burned down in bonfires and liquor shops were picketed. So when you merge 2 points into one, you run short of ideas. Therefore, don't do this. And for the question, demands of liberals, there is a separate paragraph in the book that deals with the economic demands of liberals. In case if you're unable to classify a demand as political or economic, don't give a subtopic. If you give a subtopic and get it wrong, you will lose mark. I always tell this to my children. If you don't know when a particular incident had happened, better don't write the year. If you write, it has to be correct. For example, in your kitchen, there is a jar which you have named it as sugar. And by mistake, somebody has put salt into it because both look similar. So if a jar has sugar written on it, naturally you will expect sugar to be present in the jar. Same way, if you classify the demands of liberals as social and economic, the teacher will expect social demands to come under the topic social. So if you are so sure, right, otherwise you can leave it. Okay, and for the question, Napoleon's popularity and unpopularity, be very careful. The changes initiated by Napoleon made him unpopular. So for this question, you may have a doubt. Should we write the popularity as well as unpopularity? You can write both, but make sure that you are leaving a gap between these two paragraphs. If one paragraph is irrelevant, the teacher who is evaluating your answer sheet will cut or strike out only that paragraph and put a tick mark and award you marks for the next paragraph, provided you don't cross the word limit. And for the question, conditions prevailed in Germany, answer should be in point form. For German unification and Italian unification, you have to start with condition prevailed in Germany. Only then you can prove how the country was and how the country became. It is like, when we use a hair oil, right? We know the difference it produces on our head. So in the advertisements, you might see how the head was before the hair oil was used and how the head turned out to be after the hair oil was used. The last day of your examination, after you finish preparing, use your eyes as a scanning device and scan every single image in your textbook as well as terms to learn. For example, the word utopia in nationalism in Europe, the word partisan in political parties, are some of the important terms to learn. The editors have included this hoping that it would help you. So please get the maximum benefit out of it. Prepare well. See you again with yet another video. It's time to stay focused. Stay focused and you will surely get impressive marks. Thank you and see you again.